They poured concrete over her driveway at midnight. By morning, her car was entombed, a shiny black SUV fossilized in a slab of gray injustice. The neighborhood woke to the audacity of it all, whispering in shock as the sun exposed the crime. The quiet cul-de-sac of Willow Grove was a postcard of suburban perfection manicured lawns, identical mailboxes, and a homeowners association that ruled with an iron grip. Enter Sarah Callahan, a 38-year-old single woman who just moved in. Her sleek SUV and minimalist decor, a stark contrast to the neighborhood's cookie-cutter aesthetic. She kept to herself, her sharp blazers and cryptic phone calls hinting at a life beyond the picket fences. Nobody knew much about her, but the HOA had already decided she was trouble. It started with a letter under her door. Your lawn is zero point 0.3 inches too tall. Rectify by or face a $500 fine. Sarah raised an eyebrow, tossed the note in the trash, and went about her day. She wasn't here to play suburban dictator games. But the HOA, led by the insufferable Geraldine Gary Hawthorne, didn't take kindly to defiance. Jerry, a 60-year-old busybody with a perm as tight as her control, saw Sarah's indifference as a personal affront. We have standards. Jerry sniffed at the monthly HOA meeting, her loyal minions nodding like bobbleheads. She'll learn. Sarah's crimes piled up a single dandelion in her yard, a trash can left out past 7A, a porch light deemed too modern. Each violation came with a fine, a lecture, and a smug smile from Jerry. Sarah paid the fines without a word, her silence unnerving the HOA board. She thinks she's above us, Jerry hissed to her right-hand man. Carl, a retired accountant with a vendetta against anyone who parked slightly off-center. They decided Sarah needed a lesson, one that would make Willow Grove's history books. The HOA's vendetta escalated from petty to unhinged. They started by towing Sarah's SUV for unauthorized parking. It was in her own driveway. She got it back, paid the $200 fee, and still said nothing. Then came the nightly inspections, where Gary and Carl skulked around Sarah's property with flashlights, noting every perceived infraction. A neighbor, Mrs. Lopez, warned Sarah over coffee. They're gunning for you, hun. Gary's got a bee in her bonnet, and it's buzzing loud. Sarah shrugged. Let them buzz. I've got bigger fish to fry. Mrs. Lopez, a kind-hearted grandmother who'd lived in Willow Grove for decades, frowned. You don't get it. They've done worse. Last year, they fined a guy into bankruptcy over unapproved mailbox paint. Sarah's eyes narrowed, but she only nodded. Mrs. Lopez didn't know Sarah was a federal agent, a high-ranking one at that, working undercover on a case that made HOA drama look like a toddler's tantrum. The HOA's next move was a masterclass in absurdity. Jerry, emboldened by her unchecked power, rallied the board to declare Sarah's driveway non-compliant due to a crack so small you'd need a microscope to see it. Their solution? Hire a contractor to fix it by pouring a foot-thick layer of concrete over the entire driveway, trapping Sarah's SUV. The plan was hatched in secret, with Gary cackling. She'll beg for mercy when she sees this. Enter the twist, enter Tommy, a 17-year-old neighbor with a knack for hacking and a grudge against the HOA. Tommy had been fined $100 for skateboarding in his own driveway, and he'd been itching for revenge. He'd overheard Jerry's plan while eavesdropping on their Zoom meeting thanks to a poorly secured password. Tommy slipped a note under Sarah's door. They're coming for your car. Midnight. Be ready. Sarah read it, smirked, and made a call. Yeah, it's me, she said into her phone. We've got a situation. Midnight came, and so did the concrete truck. Its engine roared, waking half the neighborhood. Jerry, Carl, and their HOA cronies stood smugly in their blue HOA vests, watching as the chute unleashed a river of wet cement across Sarah's driveway. The SUV sank, tires disappearing under the sludge. Neighbors spilled onto their lawns, some in pajamas, others filming with their phones. "What the hell is this?" one shouted. "This is insane," cried another. Sarah emerged from her house, not in pajamas, but in a tailored blazer, her badge gleaming under the streetlights. "Stop that truck," she barked, her voice cutting through the chaos like a blade. The driver, confused, hit the brakes. Jerry stepped forward, arms crossed. "This is HOA business. Miss Callahan, your driveway's a hazard. We're fixing it." Sarah's laugh was cold. "Fixing it? You're vandalizing federal property." The crowd gasped. Gary's smirk faltered. "Federal property," she scoffed. "Don't play games, or sweetheart." Sarah pulled out her ID, the seal of the U. XC, Marshal service flashing under the streetlights. "I'm a deputy U. It's Marshal. That SUV, it's government issued. You just committed a felony." The crowd erupted. Phones were out, live streams buzzing, hashtags like "You're shorter Hody Ranny" trending by the minute. Jerry's face turned the color of the concrete. Carl stammered. "We didn't know." Sarah didn't blink. "You didn't ask. You assumed you could bully me into submission. Big mistake." Tommy, hidden in the shadows, grinned. He'd hacked the HOA's email server and leaked their entire plan to the neighborhood group chat. Screenshots of Jerry's emails calling Sarah that uppity city girl and plotting the concrete stunt spread like wildfire. Neighbors who'd once cowered under the HOA's rule now shouted in outrage. "You can't do this," yelled Mrs. Lopez, waving her phone. "This is our home, not your kingdom." The police arrived, sirens blaring. Sarah handed over her badge and a stack of printed emails, courtesy of Tommy. Jerry and Carl were cuffed, their vests looking more like clown costumes now. The concrete truck driver, just a hired hand, apologized profusely. The crowd chanted, "No more HOA," as the cement hardened, a permanent monument to their overreach. By dawn, Willow Grove was a battlefield of change. The concrete slab was a viral sensation, dubbed the Tomb of Tyranny on social media. News vans lined the street, reporters interviewing furious neighbors. Sarah, calm as ever, coordinated with her team to have the SUV extracted at the HOA's expense. Jerry and Carl faced charges for vandalism and destruction of federal property, their reign of terror over. The twist deepened. Tommy's leaks revealed the HOA had been skimming dues for years, funneling money into Gary's renovation fund, read her new deck. The neighborhood voted to dissolve the HOA, replacing it with a council led by Mrs. Lopez, who promised fairness and transparency. Sarah, ever the enigma, declined interviews. "I've got work to do," she said, driving off in a new government SUV. The lesson hit hard: power unchecked breeds chaos, and karma's got a mean right hook. Willow Grove wasn't just a neighborhood anymore. It was a community reborn, united by a shared stand against petty tyranny. As for Gary, she's probably still scrubbing HOA tyrant graffiti off her mailbox. What's your take? Ever dealt with a power-hungry HOA or seen karma strike back? Drop your story below. Let's keep this fire burning.